Hey guys, it's Kate Journey, and I am back today actually to plan Q2 with you guys. So I don't know about you, but my Q1 just went completely off the rails. Every single plan that I had, wildly, wildly off the rails. And I have to say that it's probably a continuation from last year, from Q3 and 4 of last year, because it's just been one illness after another, one problem after another. And then, there were other extenuating circumstances that had me kind of in a real funk. So anyway, I'm starting to feel like a person again and like I can start to get things done. I also learned a couple of lessons, and the number one lesson that I think I learned about myself is that when I plan my day out to be the exact same day every day, I really, really, really struggle. And I think it's because that whole most likely ADHD, neurodivergent, definitely neurodivergent, don't know which one or how, haven't been diagnosed yet, but the symptoms are all there. Anyway, that's that whole I every time I start to get into a routine, I kind of drop off slowly because I get into a rut and I hate it. And after a while, my brain goes, no, you can't do that. So for like, I want to say 5 months, waking up first thing in the morning and writing was like my jam. It was the best thing ever. And then last month, couldn't do it. Couldn't make myself. Every time I got up, I'd be like, no, I don't want to write. Like anything but writing. Don't make me write. And I started to kind of get in my head and think, well, maybe I don't want to write, which isn't true. I love writing. So now I've noticed that if I wait till later in the day to write and I'm not bullying myself about doing it first thing when I wake up, I'm doing better. So I think what happened is that I got into too much of a rhythm. So I need to remember to every quarter adjust my rhythm. I think that's the plan. So for this quarter, I'm creating a custom plan and then I'll do the same thing for next quarter. Um so I actually here, I'll show you. I made this in Google Docs and, obviously print and cut it and whatever. And what it is this is the last 2 weeks of March. This is April, this is May, and this is June. And it's really small because I wanted it to fit on two pieces of paper. And we are oh, I punched it wrong. Damn it. Okay. We're going to do the rough draft, and then I'm going to redo this privately and punch it correctly because it's supposed to be like this. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. So I'll just reprint this and redo this off camera, but for right now, we're going to do this on camera, and it's going to be fine. Um, Jeez. Okay, so first things first, I want to take out every Sunday. I do not work on Sundays at all. Like, I do my best to not to. I don't like how I'm marking that. I'm just going to, there we go. That's better. I don't work on Sundays at all. And then I also only work a half day on Saturdays. So we're just going to mark off half the day here. Very clumsily. Yep, this is definitely the rough draft. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do the rough draft on camera here with you guys, and then I'll throw in a picture of the better fixed version at the end. The one that's, punched correctly and not like um wildly off here. It doesn't really matter though. Okay. So there's that. Then I know that there are certain days that I will have issues with getting any sort of work done. So I have this all printed out over here. This is the big version that I've already made. That's really, really, really rough. So I know next Thursday, actually every Thursday until here is a half day. So the 12th is the last half day, 12th and 13th. And then after that, it's all half days until the kids are back to school. And when I go to plan Q3, I will also have 2 months where it's half days. So I might just shade that in on the computer so I don't have to do this every single time, which would be fine. Like, not a big deal. So once the kids are out of school, I know that my 4-year-old is going to be home with me. So I know I'm going to get just a few broken hours, if that, every single day to get anything done. So I need to plan accordingly. I also know, so it's every Thursday from there on up is um, is a half day. Okay. So let me see what else. So these half days. So if I mark a day completely off, like I know that the 27th, there's a doctor's appointment that's going to take up the majority of that day. If I get any work in on those days, it's going to be bonus time. That's basically how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as that's bonus extra work time if I get anything done, but I'm not planning anything there. Then all the rest of the Thursdays for now are just half days, but that one's a full day off. And then let me see. So the first is a half day. I think there's no school at all on the first. And then I know that the next week is spring break. So we're counting those as half days. Because again, it's going to be about the roughly, if I get up early enough in the morning, I will have a couple of hours before the kids are up to myself. And then I'll have a few broken up sprints that I'll be able to get in throughout that time frame. And then on the 23rd, 23rd, I have another appointment. And then on the 26th, there's something. I marked that as a half day. And I'm sure maybe there's no school that day or there's something going on. I have no idea. But that is a half day. It's probably likely no school that day, but I don't know. So I looked at my calendar. I looked at the school calendar. I looked at my appointment calendar. And this is just a guesstimation of time. This is not what time it's at, or it's about, each of these is about like how many potential blocks of time I have. And automatically the blue says I have half the time or none of the time. Okay. Okay, so one of the things that's coming up that I'm really excited about is the Rough Draft Challenge. So I know that starts on the 1st. We're just going to put a dot. That starts on the 1st. So I know that everything that I do for the rest of this time, for the rest of this month, is going to be about the Rough Draft Challenge. So now I do have a color for YouTube and for admin stuff and things like that, but I also know that my plan for the Rough Draft Challenge is actually to be doing vlogs. So I'm going to be filming when while I'm writing. I'm just going to be doing vlogs this entire time, so be prepared. You're going to be seeing a very unkept me here coming up very soon, and it will be for a whole month because I'm not going to be putting on makeup every day this month. I will be I will be presentable, but I'm not going to be over the top about it at all because, frankly, I just don't have the time. If I wanted to take 2 hours a day to get myself pretty in the morning to get on camera, I would have a quarter of the time that I have, basically. But I will put a little dot next to them. Actually, no. I will have a post on Wednesdays, so I'll just add a little red dot on Wednesdays because I do want to be, basically I'll be filming Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday in the evening I will be editing the footage on Tuesdays. So that's one of the sacrifices that I make during Rough Draft Challenge times or challenge times, is that some of my evening time, my family time, will be put to basically to work. And then I will also be filming, or I will be posting videos on Fridays. But I will not be filming on Saturdays. Mostly just because my kids are home and it's going to be loud. I'm not sure how the heck I'm going to deal with spring break week. We're just going to play that by ear. Yeah, we're just going to play it by ear. Oh, while I've got YouTube out. So, my plan going forward is that every Tuesday of every single week, other than this month here, other than the Rough Draft Challenge, Tuesdays are going to be YouTube and only YouTube. So, what I want to be doing is I want to be putting out 2 videos a week from here on out. I want 1 video a week to be about planning and 1 video a week to be about, well, planning and like the author, keeping up with my author work and that kind of thing. But I want the other video of the week to be about my writing itself. So exploring some of the themes in my writing, things like that. It's going to be a little bit more fluid than that. I think actually for this week right here, I am doing this video, and then I am going to be doing I've got a new planner that I'm going to be showing you in the next video that's coming out on Friday, which I'm very excited about. Yes, I'm adding another planner to my line. No, it's not what you're thinking. Whatever you're thinking, it's not. No, I'm very excited about it. Anyway, back to this. So that's going to be, let me see. So each full day is going to be about 10 blocks per day. I've got 10 blocks per day for a full day. So we're just going to write 10 there, 10 there, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Now here, I'm going to have a significantly less blocks. So I'm going to say that I'm probably more likely going to have about 4 blocks during the summer. And I'm going to be prepared for that. So I will very likely either be doing like planning for what my videos are ahead of time, which I actually already have. I have my plan for all of these videos already done for the most part. Or I will be dropping it down to 1 video a week during summer break, just because it's going to be a lot and I'm going to be really, really busy. And I don't want to sacrifice my writing for my YouTube. And that's the biggest thing with kind of taking on more and getting back into the swing of things, is I don't want to be sacrificing the most important part of my system, the most important part of my workday, which is writing time, for other things. So instead of like writing in the morning and then trying to jump to YouTube, I'm taking each of these days and I'm doing YouTube. And if I get it done early, then I get to take a nap. I can work on my book if I want to. I can do whatever. These are days that are specifically geared towards this is what's happening. And in fact, I'm actually getting a late start today, because this morning, instead of just focusing on YouTube, I was building this sheet and I was also repotting some plants, because that's what you do. Anyway, I just got a bunch of perlite in and I'm very excited. I've got a bunch of tomatillos that are ready to be repotted, but my zucchinis and my summer squash were like dying in their little cups. They've been ready to be repotted for well over a week. So they got new pots today. I'm very excited. Anyway, weird segue. Okay. So this is a rough draft challenge, and we're gonna actually count up how many time blocks I think I have for this too. So I'm gonna do this on a separate sheet of paper, because I have extra paper. So for the rough draft challenge, get that on screen. We're going to go week 1. We've got probably maybe 4 blocks plus 10 plus another 5 blocks maybe plus 10 plus I want to say probably 4. So 15, 25, 33 blocks. And then over here, and each of these blocks is actually is actually either half an hour or 20 minutes depending. So I've been doing sprints for a while now, on and off, when I've been like really into writing, and I have found that 25-minute sprints aren't actually doing it for me. What does it for me is 20-minute sprints. So technically I would get 3 blocks in an hour if, whatever. Anyway, but I'm not doing that because I need breaks in between, and I built myself a standing desk, and that's part of that next planner thing. And so I will be standing for 20 minutes and then sitting for 5 minutes and then doing some sort of stretching or exercising. And that will kind of be my cycle. So I will have 20 dedicated minutes of writing time and then like a 10-minute break, that where I'll be working on other things, basically. Okay, so we've got, I want to say these are likely maybe 5 block days. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're going to go 30. And I'm giving myself less than I potentially have because I don't want to pretend like I'm going to be showing up as the best me constantly this whole time. Like, that's not going to work. I know that's not going to work. I know that's not how, we plan with the best of intentions, but I don't want to plan for, super me to show up when regular me is likely the one that's rolling out of bed going, oh God, what did I plan for myself? Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40, we'll go probably 50 blocks. Okay, so then I've got 10, 20, 30, let's say 30, 40, 45 blocks. I've kind of gone up in my estimation over here just for easier counting because I don't want to do that. But I will add this all up and then kind of drop it down a little bit once I figure it out. So then I've got 10, 20, 30 blocks. 30 blocks. Okay, so let's, I will very likely not have that many blocks, but let's go 50 plus 50, or no, 30 plus 30 is 60 plus 45 is 105, 155, 188. So that's 188 blocks. So for the rough draft challenge, that's the amount of time that I can have. So one of the things that that Sarra Cannon talks about that I just love is that she has you figure out how many blocks you have, and then she has a system for figuring out how many words you can get in your blocks. I'm not going to show that on here because frankly that's her content. If you want to figure out how she does that, she's got a new video up, she's got a whole new planner up for it. She's amazing. So I will link her down in the description for like the rough draft challenge and the blocks and all of that. So I know that I've got roughly 188 blocks. More likely, I will probably guesstimate that I will end up having about 160 blocks with everything that, usually jumps in my way. It's very likely that I will have that many blocks. I could end up with more. We'll see. But that's a much more accurate kind of guesstimation. Okay. So then I want to be looking at, I've got a thing over here. So Mondays are writing days. Mondays, even outside of the rough draft challenge, I want to be pushing for writing. And so are Wednesdays. So Mondays and Wednesdays, this is the rhythm that I want to get into. I've got an intense writing day and kind of a break where I'm doing YouTube. And this is, again, I just want to stay out of a rut. So writing day, YouTube, writing day. And then Thursdays are going to be admin days. So Thursdays are where I'm going to be building my ads or planning my ads or things like that. So let's do, hang on. I'm going to leave the blocks for this out for right now because I'm going to do that at the end because it varies. So for admin days, I know every Thursday, other than during the rough draft challenge, is an admin day. So this is, doing things on my website. This is running ads, things like that, which I haven't started yet. In fact, I have a feeling that these ones are going to be planning the ads and filming the ads, and then I will likely be running the ads after the rough draft challenge. But we'll see. It might be that I plan them here and then I have to build them here. And that's again one of the great things about this system that I'm building for myself is that this is a time that's dedicated to admin things. But I'm not putting a specific task in there. So if I don't get it done, I don't have to feel guilty about it. It's just, okay, that's an admin day. What can I get done? So, and then every other week, I have a mastermind meeting on Fridays. And my mastermind meeting is usually, it's supposed to be 2 hours long. It usually goes over by at least half an hour. I love my mastermind group. They're fantastic. So I know that on Fridays I have half a day that I'm busy. And that is every other Friday. And I believe, yeah. So that's going to be on the 21st. And then I'll have another one, which I'm going to have to recount this because I have a mastermind. Nope. Yeah. Mastermind meeting there. So every other week is a mastermind meeting. So, and that's non-negotiable for me. The mastermind is non-negotiable. So we're going to drop, if that's there, then I know that this is probably more like 28. And this is probably more like 44 maybe. So we'll have to do the math on that. Yeah. We'll do the math on that later. I'm not going to do it on screen, but you'll see it when I show you the final. Maybe I'll do a run through of the final where I actually do the math on that because it's going to drop it quite a bit. So we've got 105, 149, 159, 169, 177. It's 177. So if that's, I'm just going to do the math on the screen for you. So that is 177 roughly. Then most likely I will actually probably get 150 is the real number. So not this and not this. And this is why I'm kind of doing this all together, because I have an idea in my head of what can get done where, and then other things jump in the way, which is, if it's my mastermind meeting, I'm happy with it. Let's just put it that way. So if I've got a mastermind meeting, then I know then the rest of that day, I'm going to be in my head working on my business. Excuse me, because one of the things that the mastermind is to help me focus on advancing my business. So every mastermind day, this is now an admin day, because I'm going to get enthusiastic about whatever else they have to say, and I'm going to want to just jump in and get to work. So for this day, I want to say that I will very likely 4 blocks and 4 blocks. We'll go with 8 blocks there. 8 blocks. And then no blocks for because this day is taken up and I don't have a mastermind, I think I'm going to focus here on admin. I'm going to make that choice right now just because I know that I'm not going to have any admin work done at all in this month. So I'm going to take that day. As much as I don't want to sacrifice my writing day, I'm going to sacrifice my writing day there. Okay, so that's probably 10 blocks there of admin time. And then for this week, we're looking at probably another 8. 8 blocks. It's going to be 8 blocks. 8 blocks. This will most likely be, I want to say maybe 6 blocks. And we'll go 6 blocks. And then for these days, I'm going to say probably 4, 4, 4, 4, and probably 2. So summertime is going to be a hard time for things, and there likely will be more done on the weekends in the summer just because time tends to blend together for me. So the only time that I would notice that it's the weekend on the summer is if my boyfriend is over more because he visits more on the weekends. So that will be likely how I realize that it's the weekend, but the summertime will be more fluid, but I'll deal with that once I get there. Just because I don't want to go marking up this and, whatever. We're just for continuity's sake, we're going to leave that there. Okay. So then that's it. Okay. So now we're adding in the writing time. So on these weeks where I don't have my mastermind meeting, my Fridays will be writing days, just because I want to make sure that I am pushing myself with writing. I'm giving myself, I shouldn't say pushing myself, because I don't want to be pushing myself. I want to be giving myself the opportunity to really take that time and focus on those days. And then every Saturday is also going to be a writing day. And that's super important to me because I have books that I want to get out. So I am currently still working on book 3. I have been working on book 3 for about a year. I keep having to change up my ideas and rework things. And I took my first version that I threw away, but didn't really throw away, and my second version that I wasn't really happy with, and I blended them together and created version 3. And then I was working on version 3 and realized that I needed to completely change the beginning. Excuse me. So I changed the beginning on, that book 3, and it's better. It's working. It's finally all coming together. It's great. I'm super happy with it. And in fact, that's what I'm going to be working on finishing in the rough draft challenge. But if I don't finish it, I would like to finish it before summer starts, because at the beginning of the summer, I want to be jumping into either book 4 of the main series or book 1 of the spinoff. And I haven't decided which one yet, but it might be book 1 of the spinoff because that's very summer vibes. So books 1 and 2 both take place in Greenland, and then it splits and they both go kind of tropical. So book 3, they end up in like the Mediterranean, and like the side quest book, he ends up in a different world, and it's actually based around the Mediterranean, but it would be in a situation, I'm not going to give too much away with this, but basically he's in a Mediterranean where instead of global warming happening, global cooling is happening. And so they're cold, but it's going to get warmer as the story progresses, if that makes actually it might get colder because they're going north. It depends. I had an idea and then I kind of changed it because it was tropical, like they both ended up going tropical, and then I remembered that I kind of changed it in the first book of that series. We'll see what I decide to do. We'll see what I feel like writing about. I am very excited about both book 4 and the first book in the next series, the spinoff. They're both equally tantalizing to me, and I just need to get through book 3 and just be done with it so I can move on. So as for the book club book, I'm kind of working on it in the background, and I'm just looking at it as I have time to, but I'm really trying to invest my time in my main series, and then I will come back to it likely next year. Which makes me sad because the book club book was so much fun to write. And it might be that this November or this October, I just decide I can't take it anymore and I have to, finish book 1 of the book club book and then jump into book 2. I haven't decided because I know that that's at least a 3-book series. I have at least 3 books in that I've already figured out. And I love my main characters. So I'm deeply invested in the book club book, and I'm really upset that I can't work on it right now, but I know that I've got to finish my main series because I have 15 books of this series hanging out, chilling in my head, and I need to get them out so that I can move on with my life. So anyway, okay, back to what we were doing. So let's count blocks, and I'm going to stop talking about the craziness. Okay, so here we're looking at 10, 20, probably 25. Let's say 25. And then we're looking at 10, 20, probably 25 again. And then for just regular old writing that's not the book club book, I've got 10 hours here. Or not book club book. Started talking about it. Now I'm like thinking about it. So this will not be part of the rough draft challenge because the challenge starts there. So likely what will happen, these writing blocks will be more like editing, prepping blocks. They will be dedicated book blocks. And then where I'm going to be like really pushing word counts is in here. We'll see what happens, but that's basically what that is. So then we've got probably 5. Let's go 5 blocks there. So 10, 20, 30, 5. 10, 20, 25. So 35, 25, and then get up there. No, this is 25. This is 35. And then this would be 25. Now here we're jumping into my half days. So that's going to be like 5, 10, 15, 20. 5. Oop, and I missed a dot. 10, 15. Okay. So I know my writing is going to slow down in the summer, which is again another reason why my YouTube channel, my videos may drop back down to 1 video a week. But for this chunk right here, I really want to jump up to 2 videos a week. And I think in the fall, I'm going to do 2 videos a week too, because I've got the plan figured out for it and I'm very excited about it. And I actually do have video ideas for like 2 per week here for in the summertime. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what I decide to do. Yeah, but for now, that is what it is. But there will be, for the summer, there's going to be, well, until school's out, there's going to be a video on Wednesdays, and there's going to be a video on Fridays. Hopefully, I can pull that off. And then in the summer, it might just be that there's a video on Wednesdays for this block here. It might just be on Wednesdays. But if I can swing it, if I can manage to get 2 videos done per day on these days, then there will be a second. But I'm not going to push it so hard that I make myself miserable trying to get it done. And I just did all of this off screen and it was bad anyway. So I'm not going to like push myself so hard that I, end up having like a mental health crisis or whatnot. I'm also going to be doing a lot of gardening in here. I'm spending this summer working on growing a lot of our own food, both in my apartment and at my boyfriend's house. He's got this huge yard and he's letting me grow a bunch of stuff there, so I'm very excited about it. So a lot of my summertime will also be spent just digging in the dirt and and pulling weeds and things like that. So I'm not going to push too hard to get too much done. I'm just going to be focused on what I can get done. And my biggest, most important focus is going to be on my writing. So 1 video a week guaranteed, potentially 2, no promises. Okay. I'm going to take these and I'm going to print out new versions of them and I'm going to write them nicely. So I'll be right back. Okay. So this is the final plan. I switched over to this gray for these marks just because, the other was just a little bit too much. It was too oppressive. And I changed the dots for for my YouTube videos for where I'm editing to the evenings that I'm going to be editing. And then I just wrote E over here for evening. And those are my editing times. And then I will be back to my normal YouTube videos here. And then obviously summer schedule is going to be what summer schedule is going to be. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this works. I will let you know if it does. And if it doesn't, we'll be trying something else next time around. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I will be back actually in a few days with my new planner setup. I'm very excited.